Hey everyone, welcome back to The Moment Live. It's your old pal Meredith Lynch. I'm joined as always by my partner in crime, Rebecca Senanez. We have such a good show for you today. We have Representative Ted Lieu, which by the way, technically right now we are sitting in Ted Lieu's district. So I was like, hey, boots on the ground, right? But before that, so many good hot topics, okay? Jeff Bezos talks Trump, taxes, and giving away his billions. Bethany Frankel has dropped a new number when it comes to how much she's making in affiliate marketing, which I'd say I was like, oh, well, you and I got to get on it. But also, she's also scammed a bakery, and we're going to be talking about that. And then, of course, Rep Lou will be here. He really took Pam Bondi to task a couple of months ago, so I'm excited to talk to him about that. What are you excited to talk to him about?
Okay, I'm obsessed with this new autopsy report. I'm like, so that just, in case you missed it, the DNC dropped their autopsy report of 2024. This has been like a contentious thing where they said that Ken Martin, the chair, said that he was going to do it. He hired basically like his buddy to do it. And then he was like, oh, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Went on and on about how like there's nothing in it. And then finally got like pressured. And it is like what I handed in my first semester of freshman year when I was drinking every Thursday night. Like there's entire sections that are missing. It like has things where it's like, there's no evidence to support this. There's a part where like they make a claim about Trump and there's like a note that says actually Biden was president during this time. Like it is totally incomplete. And anyways, I want to ask him what he thought about that. But first, let's talk about
let's talk about Mr. Bezos.
Let's talk about Mr. Bezos.
Somebody posted online that his voice is giving uncanny valley lately, but I also realized like I don't really have a frame of reference for his voice.
Okay, well, this is one of the things that I wanted. Let's get into it, and then I'll tell you because I actually agree with that. I agree with that because I did a narrative, a podcast all about Amazon, and so I actually do know a lot about Bezos. Okay. So Jeff Bezos did a sweeping CNBC interview with Andrew Ross Sorkin, who, by the way, is lovely. He's a New York Times reporter as well. And in this interview, he was on the factory floor of Blue Origin, and he talked about his views on Trump, how they've changed between the different administrations. He talked about funding the Melania documentary. And then they kind of got into like the taxes of it all. And he talked about specifically, he said that the bottom 50% of people of income earners shouldn't be taxed. He said that they should have a 0% tax on income if you're in the bottom 50%. So naturally, Andrew Ross Sorkin asks, okay, then how do we make that up? Are the billionaires going to be taxed? And let's just play this clip and then we'll talk more about it.
We don't have a revenue problem in this country. We already have the most progressive tax system in the world. The top 1% of taxpayers pay 40% of all the tax revenue. The bottom half pay only 3%. We have already, and I think it should be zero. I don't think it should be 3%. Right. I think it should be zero. So we'd be making it more progressive that way. We actually have a spending problem, and that's a skills issue.
So he was like, well, we can talk about it, but I don't have any ideas about where this tax is going to come from. He also talked about how he was going to give away the majority of his wealth before he dies. And the reason that I thought this was particularly...
He could die tomorrow.
So actually, this is exactly my point, is both he and Tom Steyer have now said this sort of like, I'm a good billionaire because I plan on giving away my wealth in charitable donations. But when it comes to plans to tax billionaires, I have complicated feelings. And it's just like an interesting turn to see these billionaires being like, well, just wait and see. I'm going to give away all this money. And like, there's no way to hold them accountable for that. And it seems to be this like, but I'm a good billionaire tact. And I thought that was interesting. And then let's go back because this is like the fun part.
Well, wait, I want to I want to talk about one thing. One of the things that he said in this interview was that if he's taxed more, it won't help a school teacher in Queens. And here's what I'm here to tell you. I'm not a school teacher in Queens, but I can tell you that like I don't have tons of money. But I'll say if I knew that Jeff Bezos was being taxed more, I would be living a better life because my mental health would be better. Like, that's the thing. He's like, oh, you're not going to have a better quality of life. Actually, I will. Like, if I knew that billionaires were paying more of their share, if I knew that billionaires weren't doing certain things to get kickbacks from Trump, like, I actually would have a better quality of life. And I also don't believe that, like, if we tax billionaires more, it wouldn't in the long run come out better for like working class people.
Well, I just, I forget who was making this point, but it is true, is somehow when it was Graham Plattner. I was listening to him do an interview with the New York Times. And somehow when it comes to universal health care, single payer health care, the answer from public figures is like, well, where are we going to get the money? We don't have the money. But when it comes to like bombing Iran, suddenly we have this like, mass pool of money. And so, yeah, I agree when it comes to Jeff Bezos being like, well, it's not going to fix anything. I'm like, well, like maybe it would. Sounds like it would. If the problem with not being able to get universal health care for everybody in this country is that there isn't enough tax revenue, it sounds like, and also part of the way he put it was like, I already pay, $1 billion worth of taxes a year. And it's like, well, that's 1% of your overall wealth.
Right.
And yeah, I just think that this tact of like, oh, but I'm going to give it away in my life. Also, by the way,
who are you giving it to? You're not giving it to me. You're going to give it to nonprofits that you've been aligned with. You're going to give it to the Bezos Foundation, which is such fucking bullshit because the Bezos Foundation is all about one of the big things they're into is global climate stuff and whatever. And that's all great. But like, you guys have one of the most destructive companies when it comes to environmental practices. So it's sort of like, I don't care that you're going to like, no, I don't really give a shit if you're giving away your money or not. It does nothing for me. Like what I care about is the way that you act right now, the way that you uplift Trump. That's the things that stick out to me. And that's the things that matter to most Americans.
Yeah. I was going to say is like, just because you're giving away doesn't make it not, like potentially corrupt, right? Like there's this sort of like, oh, I'm altruistic. We just have to trust, like there was a ballroom fund for Trump. I guess in theory, that's a nonprofit. You know what I mean? Like, are you giving, that where you're giving it away?
You've given like Amazon gave Trump money for the inauguration fund. I guess he would argue, oh, that's not like my money that I'm talking about. That's like Amazon's money. But like, it's just,
but whatever it is, I think it's a cop out, I guess. And I saw this with Tom Steyer too. And I just think that this is something that I've seen, a lot of the billionaire class do, which is like, I don't need to be taxed because I plan on giving away my wealth by the time I die. And it's like, there's no oversight in that. We don't get to decide where that goes. It also gives you more power, right? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't quite sit right with me. Why do you think he's doing this now? He just did the Met Gala. He doesn't generally do these types of interviews. Like, I don't think somebody will have to fact check me, but I don't think he's done this type of interview since he left as the acting CEO of Amazon.
I think that he and Lauren want to be a lot more famous and a lot more beloved. And I know they've been on the lookout for different ways to do that. And so I think that the Met Gala landed really flat for him. He wasn't even allowed to walk the carpet. So, and that was not the plan. He was meant to be on there.
But really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. He was meant to be on there. And then the backlash that they were getting, they were like, let's take him off. Right. Which probably was the right move.
Yes.
Okay. But I think that Lauren wants to be more famous. This is what I'll say about those two. They really fucking like each other.
They do. Do you remember, you know what I was thinking about? Do you remember Alive Girl? Do you remember how this all started?
No.
Oh, this all started, I think it was like, I don't know, 2018, like before the pandemic, where the texts were leaked, where he calls Lauren Sanchez, at the time, Lauren Sanchez, Alive Girl. Like their texts were leaked of their affair. Yeah. And he calls her a live girl. We don't
know that was a lot of people have said that was not an affair, that Mackenzie Bezos and Jeff Bezos were separated. Yes. And so, but what my point is, like, these two, I'll give them this. I think they like to fuck and I think they like each other. But I think the thing is he's so obsessed with her and she wants to be so famous that like he has to keep positioning himself to try to look better. And it's just like, it's not hitting because they are so out of touch with reality. And whoever their PR team is probably comes in and gives them great advice, but they don't listen.
That's what I got out of this interview too, is it just seemed something about, and then I want to talk about his look, but something about him in Blue Origin talking about like who should be taxed and not be taxed. It was like your brain is a little bit yacht pickled. Like you've spent too much time at sea, I think, at this point, because it was so, I don't want to say tone deaf, but it was so like fantasy football. You know?
When the Blue Origin flight happened, one of the things that they yelled at us afterwards was Gail King was like, you know what? You go to Blue Origin and check this place out for yourself and see all the amazing things they're doing. So I called.
Of course you did.
And I was like, hi, can I come visit? They were like, absolutely not. Yeah, they were like,
I actually remember this now. Yeah.
Because I was like, listen, if you guys are saying that we need, like, this is the disconnect of these people, though. It's like such a good example of they're like, it's an amazing place. You need to go see it. And it's like, well, we can't.
Well, I have been to the Staten Island Fulfillment Center, which is the biggest fulfillment center, Amazon fulfillment center in New York City. It's like where all the things go. And it was terrifying. It was like really creepy.
Right.
It was, you walk in and it's like a fortress and there's a ton of signs everywhere about how no guns are allowed. And I feel like, sorry, pew pews for the internet. And if you need to label it that badly, like, you know, there's a problem. And then on the inside, it's like this, it's just really, really creepy. So, you know, Blue Origin. He also, okay, so the Uncanny Valley voice, he sounds like somebody, have you ever had an injector who has too much lip filler and they kind of can't talk?
No, not if I see an injector who has too much lip filler, I'm not getting injected by her. I'm running for the hills.
There's something.
Or him.
Like Benito Skinner does this, you know, Benny Drama.
Yes, yeah.
Where it's like, I have so much lip filler. And everybody's like, does Jeff Bezos have a bunch of peptides? And it's like, I think that he just has too much filler. I think he's been hanging around. He looks like
he probably has bad veneers under there that are making it hard for him to talk, because like, it's not to me like just the, like, it seems like he's having a hard time enunciating.
It looks like a bad
he's also wearing jewelry. And not just a wedding ring, which I have mixed feelings on that.
About men's
I know
jewelry.
that's people are going to be like, oh my God, what are you yeah. I'm not a big fan of jewelry on men. A watch, sure. But also too, like, I don't think that Jeff Bezos is wearing jewelry because he's like, oh, I love jewelry. Like, I think he's wearing jewelry because it's like, this is part of my rebrand.
Yeah, no, he definitely, the whole thing is, do we have a picture of him circa 1984 when Amazon started? This is OG Jeff Bezos. He was like the nerdiest. He was like, he had this like crazy laugh, which I'm sure he still does, but he was like such a nerdy bookseller guy.
The funny thing is if he had just kept with this path, we'd probably be like, and like, he wasn't like, we'd probably be like, he's kind of cute now. Well, like, you know what I mean? Like
the thing is like the Mackenzie Scott, like that is a beloved version of Jeff Bezos, I think.
Well, Mackenzie Scott is just yesified Lauren Sanchez, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like when people are like, I can't believe that's who he's with her. I'm like, if you gave Mackenzie fillers, that's actually what she would look like. He has a type. He likes dark hair, fair skin, whatever.
Yep.
Okay. So let's get to Bethany.
Yeah, speaking of dark hair, fair skin.
Let's get to her. I'm so excited because we do have birthday cake today. In honor of the story that we're going to talk about with Bethany. I want you to try this.
Okay.
She's never had these. These are one of my favorite places, Nothing Bundt Cake.
Ooh.
And I'm telling you right now, like, this is actually such good cake.
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to have you try it and then I'll explain to you why.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Isn't it good? It's like really good cake.
That is so good.
I like getting these because it's like, you know, if you're like going to like, you can just get like a few little ones, you can split them, whatever. Okay. I do love these. This is not sponsored, not PR, but Nothing Bundt Cakes. If you want to send us some cakes, we would be thrilled.
We would eat them.
Okay. And Gabby in the booth loves them too. She's raising the roof in there. Okay. So Bethany. Well, first of all, she was on Emma Greed's podcast, which like, I just feel like Emma Greed having Bethany on is that feels a little lowbrow. Like,
oh, interesting.
I don't think that Bethany at this point is this like highly regarded businesswoman.
I agree.
As she used to be. Like when you're somebody who works for Kardashians and like the level of people that Emma Greed has had on, I think Bethany is like, oh God, Bethany's publicist keeps calling. But while she was on, she's alleged that she is making $20 million a year in brand deals. And you know what? Like, here's what I'll say. That could be true. But I will also say this. And if you know, you know. Bethany has a proven track record of inflating numbers in terms of sales of things. So she did
it. And nobody could hold her accountable.
Right. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Show your financials. Actually, I'll probably be down. I'm like in Miami or wherever the hell she lives. So I don't think that she's probably making that much. That's my opinion. Do I think she's probably cashing in on brand deals? Sure. But I also think that Bethany is not as wealthy as she pretends to be.
Oh, of course.
And I'll tell you why. Multiple people have reached out to me to tell me that they have done work in her home and then she has stiffed them on the bill. Oof. And I'm going to tell you right now, anybody who is doing well in life, who has a reputation that they need to uphold, would not be stiffing people who come into their home and do services for them. Like, they know that is like the ultimate worst thing that you can do. It's such an easy lawsuit. Like, but she's also a scary person. But one of the things that she did do recently that everybody has an opinion on, and I'm going to give my opinion on it, is that about a year ago, she had a birthday party and her assistant DM'd this woman who is a cake maker. It's Sugar High is the bakery, and was like, hey, Bethany loves your cakes. Can she have a free cake for her birthday? And the woman was like, well, could we do a collab, whatever? And they were like, she might tag it, but like no guarantees. The woman,
which by the way, the audacity to begin with to make that
can't imagine.
Yeah.
Right. The woman who owns the bakery flies down her cake, like one of her cake designers to, I don't know, Florida to do this. And then it's like, it ends up taking all this, obviously, like, it's like a really nice cake.
Sure.
It's no nothing bundt cakes, but it ends up taking all this time. And basically, the woman has explained that Bethany had the cake, posted the cake, never tagged the cake. When people kept asking where it was from, she ends up tagging it like in a carousel like a week later. So she was very upset because she had spent all this money and all this time and all this kind of stuff. Here's my hot take, you guys. I don't run around the internet telling you that someone is a bad person because I don't have receipts. Since 2002, I have been telling you guys Bethany is a bad person. She's shady. She lies. She's manipulative. She pretends to be more wealthy than she is. I wouldn't do business with her. The amount of things that I've heard. And the least interesting thing about her birthday was that birthday cake. The most interesting thing about that birthday was the fact that Michael Capone was there. Hey, Michael, I know you blocked me on Instagram. Why? Because you're in the Epstein files about bringing underage girls to Mar-a-Lago back in the 90s with Jeffrey, bringing them to Trump, allegedly. Yeah. If you mention Michael Capone's name on Bethany's Instagram, you're going to get automatically blocked. He also runs the shady nonprofit that she like donates to.
And and Jeff Bezos might be donating soon too, apparently.
Right? So anyway, shady. That's the most interesting thing about the birthday is this man who runs this grifter. But what I want to say is like, I understand like this woman doing the cake and I get it. Like, you're like, oh, maybe I could like really make my business blow up by having, Bethany Frankel. But at the same time, you guys, like, I don't run around telling you don't ever do business with Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, even though I don't know that I would be like, yeah, do it. But like, I don't get DMs.
You don't have DMs.
I don't get DMs all the time telling me how shady this person is, how they fucked them over. Please don't repeat this. Like, I'm afraid of getting sued. She's already sent my lawyer. Like, she is shady, you guys. And I'm telling you, stop. If you care about your business and you're concerned that she might do something to screw you over, just don't do business with her. There's so many other great content creators out there, influencers out there who will tag you, who will pay for things, all that kind of stuff. So that's my hot take.
I also thought it was interesting because this all started when this young woman who has this shoe company, which by the way, such cute shoes. I thought she got great PR from it. Yeah. Sent, Bethany Frankel these shoes. Bethany Frankel did an OOTD, showed the shoes, but then like sent a dupe link. But she's clearly affected by the backlash that she's gotten.
Oh my God, she's so sensitive.
So sensitive, but like the fact that she went on Emma Grede immediately after and like talks about the haters and talks about the affiliate link.
I think that though was filmed previously.
Oh, I disagree.
Really?
Yeah. No, I think that's quick response. I think that they probably are buddies.
Emma, stay away. But she's going to screw you.
No, I think the fact that they were talking about how much money she makes with the affiliate link. And I also think that that she talks quite a bit about the haters. And I don't know, when you're talking about that, like, you're clearly affected by it. So yeah, I think that was a quick turnaround from her PR team. being like, let's go with Emma Grede, who has a lot of goodwill as a businesswoman, and like you can go on and talk about how much money you make as an affiliate marketer.
People are saying in the chat that I got it wrong, that the cake person offered to do it for free, which I don't know. I guess I'd maybe heard some other version of the story. Here's the bottom line. The bottom line is when people tell you who they are, believe them. That's the theme of the moment.
Yeah,
whether it's
I've learned that the hard way.
Whether it's Trump, whether it's I don't know. Like these people keep showing us who they are, and then we're like, faces. I don't know. Maybe we'll give them another chance. No.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it. We got to. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Me too.
We have such a good guest today.
Tell us who.
I'm going to find my notes. Okay. We have with us today Congressman Ted Lieu, a retired Air Force colonel. Representative Lieu represents California's 36th congressional district, and is currently serving his 6th term. He sits on the House Judiciary Committee and Foreign Affairs Committees and serves as vice chair of the Democratic Caucus, the highest ranking Asian American position in House leadership. He is my representative, and we are currently live from one of his areas, his district. And so I was driving around today and I was thinking of how everybody says all these awful things about LA. And, and I was like, it's a beautiful morning.
I know.
It's such a it's beautiful. Yeah. People are walking the kids to school.
Yeah. There's a lot
great
to say about LA for sure.
So anyway, the district is thriving.
Thanks to Representative Lieu.
Very much. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're so good. We are, like we said, we're in your beautiful district today. And I'll say the sun hasn't come out yet, but you know how the mornings are here.
Well, today is Friday. That means it's another beautiful day in LA.
That's right.
It's so true.
That's right.
It's so true. LA gets a lot of I don't know, criticism these days, especially.
Yeah.
But I was curious, what is one thing that you wish people who don't live in LA knew about LA?
I'm a foodie, so their ability to get food from 300 different restaurants that serve 57 different cuisines is quite amazing, because it's all within half an hour wherever you live. So that's one thing I do love.
Yeah. LA does have really
I know.
food.
I remember when I moved here and I was like, wait, these are the best tacos you could ever get, and they're on the street.
Exactly. We have amazing food trucks too.
I was gonna say this is such a small thing, but the guys out there with fruit, getting the mango with the chamoy and the tajin, I think people don't realize that's such an LA thing. The other day I was getting one. I was like, oh, if I ever left LA, I would miss this, that fresh fruit.
Yeah. We're very lucky. But you know what? There's a lot going on that's not the food scene in LA.
Unfortunately.
So we want to talk a little bit about this $1.8 billion slush fund. There seems to have been a bit of a blow up between Republican senators and the acting Attorney General Todd Blanche over these funds. So we're wondering, can you kind of give us an update on where this stands as of today?
Yes. Let me just take a step back and explain how it was even created.
Yeah.
So it is a completely fake fund created from a fake settlement through a fake lawsuit. And the reason I say fake is because under what's called the unitary executive theory that Trump and Republicans operate under, everyone in the executive branch works for Trump, including the IRS and the Department of Justice. And it's very clear that they work for Trump because they just follow his orders. So it can't be that the IRS and the Department of Justice, both of whom work for Trump, then settle a case regarding Trump. So it's like you're settling a case against yourself. You're sort of suing yourself. And then out of this fake settlement comes this nearly $1.8 billion slush fund to pay criminals who happen to be friends of Trump. And it is so outrageous and so corrupt that even Senate Republicans said, we can't stomach this. We can't go along with this, which is why we all went home early yesterday. We're supposed to be voting today on funding for Border Patrol and ICE. And the Republicans said, we can't do that. We're just going to go home.
Well, let me ask you this. Has there been any sort of chatter about how people would even be able to apply for these funds? Who is eligible for this $1.8 billion, and how would it even be allocated?
So another reason it's totally corrupt is because it's completely vague and ambiguous. It's going to be based on the document they provided, a 5-member board appointed by, guess who? Donald Trump. And they're just going to decide who gets to have this money. There's nothing in there that says a violent January 6th insurrectionist can't get this money. There's nothing that says if you assault a police officer, you can't get this money. And that's why people are incredibly upset, because not only is it corrupt and it's a completely fake fund, but it could benefit people who are criminals who assaulted law enforcement.
Yeah. So one of the people that you mentioned is the Justice Department. Todd Blanche was Trump's personal attorney before he became the deputy attorney general, and he replaced Pam Bondi, who you sort of famously gave a hard time to when she, came and testified about the Epstein files. Can you tell us where that stands? Like, is Todd Blanche going to continue to be the attorney general? And are we ever going to see accountability for Pam Bondi, or have we just moved on?
Todd Blanche is currently acting attorney general. And what you see is that he's just every day thinking of different ways to kiss Trump's ass because he wants to be nominated for the position of attorney general. Now, fortunately, in the legal profession, there are actually ethical rules, and there are rules you have to follow of your own state bar. What Todd Blanche has done is completely unethical in drafting up this fake settlement fund and basically doing everything Trump wants to do, even if it's against the law. So I believe that after his term is over, Todd Blanche will lose his law license, that he's going to be disbarred. And with Pam Bondi, I have no idea what she's doing, where she is, and I think it's good that I have no idea what she's doing, where she is.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's probably hiding in a bunker.
Yeah, she never wants to be in front of you again.
Yeah. Well, I think, though, going back to that, there do seem to sort of be these cracks in MAGA, and they're playing out in a couple of ways, right? Like whether people are criticizing the fund, but another way that I think they're playing out that is actually kind of unfortunate is, and everyone's don't cancel me, America. I was disappointed to see that Representative Massey lost this week. So I guess my question to you is like, are you hearing in DC about these cracks in MAGA, and are they going in the ways of like, hey, we're going to all gang up on Trump? Or are they going in the ways of like, oh, guys, we better stay on the straight and narrow because I don't want to turn into Thomas Massey?
What was fascinating about the Massey race, when you look at the breakdown, is pretty much everyone under 50 voted for Massey. He won the age groups of 18 to 25, 25 to 40, 40 to 50. And he lost people basically above age 50. So there is a split. I think it's somewhat generational based on at least that one race. And again, in November, we don't need a MAGA Republican to vote for a Democratic candidate. We just need them to not vote at all. And so there's a lot of evidence of that happening with all these special elections where they're just sitting it out. And I think some of them, in fact, will vote for a Democratic candidate because they are very angry about this unconstitutional war in Iran, about rising gas prices, rising mortgage rates, and rising grocery prices.
Speaking of midterms, yesterday the DNC released its incomplete autopsy. It was frankly shocking after months of sort of obfuscating and saying we don't have it, we do have it. They released this. It didn't mention anything about Biden's age, about Gaza. It kind of put the blame on Harris and Biden's campaigns. What does it tell you about the midterms? How did you see that autopsy report?
So the chair of the DNC, Ken Martin, said that the report did not meet his standards, not even close, and he's going to release it anyways because people have been calling for the release of this report. So it just came out. I haven't read it. Also, I'm not sure why I would want to read it if he's telling everyone this report doesn't meet his standards. So, so there's that. But in terms of the midterms, I want folks to understand things have changed in a year and a half. Not only have we seen Donald Trump gone full batshit crazy, but the economic conditions have gotten worse. So Trump came in on a promise that he was going to lower costs for the American people. He's done exactly the opposite. The tariffs that he imposed, this unconstitutional war in Iran, again, have raised gas prices, grocery prices, mortgage rates, and products across America. And the American people are very, very upset about that. And so with every poll we see, Donald Trump is at the lowest approval ratings of any modern day president. And then they have a specific question on, do you want Republicans to control Congress or Democrats? And the last two polls have Democrats up, plus 15 or plus 11, which are sort of ludicrous numbers. It's so high.
Mm-hmm.
But even if we just got half of that, we would still flip the House. So we're in a very good position.
Okay. And so you're not concerned about the handling of that autopsy report and Ken Martin's sort of waffling on it, I guess we'll say at best.
I am concerned about the handling of the report. Something that did surprise me is the report came with no sources based on what Ken Martin said. And so whoever did that report, we should try to claw back money from that person, because you can't just write a report with no sources, because then it's just like we're reading an opinion of yours. And that was very troubling, because if there's no sources, you can't even try to fix the report.
That's right.
So at some point, someone needed to have stepped in and say, look, you need to do a much better job in writing this report.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about California. There's other races happening right now that you have opinions about. So from my understanding, you've already endorsed Javier Becerra for governor, Karen Bass for mayor. Did I get that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
I was with Secretary Becerra last night for an event, and it was fantastic. That's not an endorsement, you guys. I just was having a nice time.
I wonder what you make of the Spencer Pratt of it all.
So just real quick on Javier Becerra, I had the honor of serving with Javier when he was in Congress. Mm-hmm. And then when he went to become Secretary of Health and Human Services, I worked with him when I was a member of Congress, and he did a terrific job, and he would be an amazing governor. And then in terms of the mayor's race, I was on Karen Bass's leadership team when she was Speaker of the California Assembly, and she handled a very difficult crisis. It was right after the Great Recession, and she helped put California on the track to come back and succeed. And so you mentioned Spencer Pratt. I haven't really followed his race, but it's a free country. Lots of people can run for lots of different elections, and the voters get to decide. And that's what makes it a great democracy.
He's really resonating with people. I will give him that. It doesn't mean that I agree with it, but he's really resonating with people. And one of the things that he's really able to do that I think, hate to say it, he's doing a good job of, is that he can look at Mayor Bass and say, well, you've been in this position and things aren't better. And then he can look at Councilmember Rahman and say, and you've been in city council and things aren't better. So from your perspective, as somebody who holds office and, has run and been the incumbent many times, what would you encourage voters to think about when they hear that really quick? Because it's very quick rhetoric that he can do. He goes, oh, well, LA's a mess and these two have been in charge. That's a very easy way to sort of throw the blame. And also, I will say, throw the blame at two women of color. But what would you invite voters to double click on?
Well, I just note pretty much every candidate that runs does blame the incumbent, right? So there is that. But it does bring back an overall larger point, and I do want to relate it to the midterms. My interest is not just in flipping the House to stop a crazy president. That's a very important, valid interest. But I want to make sure that Democrats can govern for many years. Democrats used to control the House for decades, and it's a very simple thing that all of us in elected office need to do if we want to be reelected, which is you just have to make the lives of people better. Mm-hmm. It's a simple thing. It's very hard, but my view is we just have to help the American family. And so my preference is when we gain control, we just need to go big. We need to make sure we reduce healthcare costs for people. We need to make sure that we can increase job creation. We've got to lower costs. We have to do big things that people can actually feel have improved their lives.
Mayor Bass is the mayor for many people who are your constituents, not all of them, but many of them. Is there a specific policy or something that she's put in place that you could point to voters and say, hey, check this out? Because right now I think I'm hearing a lot of noise. People are saying, I still see unhoused people. And it's like, listen, you can pretty much go to any major city in the country and you're always going to see an unhoused person. But is there something that you have seen her do or some success that you can point to?
So thank you so much for that question. Managing a city as huge and diverse as LA is not easy to do. And she's been able to keep a lot of folks in LA from suffering the worst effects of the Trump administration. The city has done its best to keep people in the jobs they currently have, and probably make sure that we can retrain those folks, because we're having an AI revolution that's going to come, and I'm happy to talk about that as well, to do additional new jobs. It is something that's very difficult to do as a mayor. I commend her for the job that she's done as mayor. I'm very focused on the federal level and trying to make sure that we rein in this batshit crazy president. And this election, the voters get to decide based on the records of individuals who they want to vote for.
Actually, now that you bring up AI, can I ask you a question? Because I
love an AI.
I have dove deep on you. You know, you were the first member of Congress to do something like on the floor that had been created by ChatGPT, if I'm correct.
I was the first elected official to write a bill. Actually, I didn't write it. Have AI write an entire piece of federal legislation. I just submitted it.
Sure. And that was back in 2023. So I think a lot has changed with AI in the last few years. And now we're starting to feel this like real AI push. And I have to be so real. I don't know that I've shared this publicly, but you know, a couple of weeks ago, I was offered thousands of dollars to make a video touting AI, and specifically in it, I had to say in it, they had to say, the USA must be first in AI and we must beat China. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, every time that I pick up my phone or turn on the news, I'm hearing about people losing their jobs because of AI. I'm reading MIT studies about how using ChatGPT is like causing like brain atrophy in people because they're not thinking as clearly. And I also am seeing at the same time, people like me, content creators, being offered thousands of dollars to promote AI. So I guess my question to you, as someone who has used AI, and I know you're a co-chair on a House Democratic commission around AI. Where do you see AI regulation fitting into all of this?
That's a great question. So first of all, AI has done amazing things and will do amazing things. Johns Hopkins created this product that basically is going to reduce sepsis in hospitals, and sepsis is one of the leading causes of death for patients in hospitals, by up to 20%. So you know, over time, thousands and thousands of people are going to have their lives saved, and most people won't even know about that, right? And so AI is in the background in a lot of these different things in society that are helping people. At the same time, it could also cause harm. It could hallucinate. It can go rogue. And the American people just want reasonable guardrails on AI. Unfortunately, the Trump administration and Republicans are at one extreme where they're just letting the AI industry run wild with no guardrails. And they're trying to then sort of say, hey, we're going to have to not put any guardrails whatsoever on AI because of this sort of vague fear out there about other countries like China. And the American people just isn't buying it. There's a massive backlash now against AI, partly because of what Trump and Republicans are doing and being completely on one end of this balance. We need to have balance and put reasonable guardrails on AI.
This week, it came out that OpenAI is planning its IPO to go public. Do you think that changes the conversation at all in the ability to look into what's happening at places like OpenAI?
So you've got multiple different large companies working on what are called large language models, which is really a qualitative jump in technology. And some of them are publicly traded, some are not. I don't think that makes a huge difference. I do encourage every company to be transparent in how they're testing and designing their models and releasing information about these models. And so far, most of them are pretty good about doing that, but not all of them. And that's why I'm working on legislation to try to mandate testing and disclosure so the American public can sort of look behind this black box and see what's actually happening.
Well, Representative Lieu, as you continue to work on that legislation, we'd love to have you back because this AI has become a special interest of ours.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you so much for joining us. Remind folks where they can find you on social channels.
So thank you, Rebecca Meredith. Honored to be on your show. I have a very classy and polished office account, which is at Rep Ted Lieu. And then there's mine, which is at Ted Lieu. So folks can go
on. The burner account.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The Finsta. That's what the kids call it. It's where you can be more fun.
Exactly.
Thank you so much,
Representative Lieu.
Bye, Representative Lieu.
Bye.
Bye. AI, baby. It's coming. Did you see AOC on the floor yesterday with the Georgia?
Yes, the drinking water.
With the drinking water from Georgia. It's scary. It's really scary stuff.
I saw these like women in LA recently, or not even recently, like in the last week, had this like the first like women understanding AI dinner, and like they're all out and they're like, how are we using it? Blah 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 blah. And I'm just like here to say, I just don't see like. The things that I have to do, I'm so sick of apps. I don't want another app. I don't know.
I think everybody feels that
way. I don't
way.
need another text message. Like I actually want to take some elements of technology out of my life.
I couldn't agree more.
So anyway, I'm just so done with it. Anyway, what's having a moment for you, Rebecca?
Okay, I want to play a clip. Yesterday, so Don Jr. is getting married. Don Jr. is getting remarried, and reporters asked Trump whether he was going to attend the wedding. And let's play his response.
I have heard it, but I want to hear it.
Okay.
Again.
Your son's wedding this weekend, by the way? He'd like me to go, but it's going to be just a small little private affair, and I'm going to try and make it. I'm in the midst. I said, this is not good timing for me. I have a thing called Iran and other things. That's one I can't win on. If I do attend, I get killed. If I don't attend, I get killed. By the fake news, of course, I'm talking about. No, but he's got a very... person who I've known for a long time, and hopefully they're going to have a great marriage.
Hopefully. Hopefully they're going to have a great marriage. I mean, with the track record of the Trumps, it's hopefully is.
I don't know. I just thought this was the funniest thing. I've like Don Jr.'s continuous humiliation by his father, who's, by the way, I also like that he was like, I mean, I've known him for a long time. And it's like, yeah, you mean like since you conceived him? Like since he was born? I think he meant Don Jr.'s wife, but like it was also like the non-committal of it, like it wasn't just like, oh, like I'm going to be,
because he does nothing but like go golfing.
Yes,
exactly.
Thank you, Amy.
Comments.
Yep.
I hope I can see it. I think it's Amy.
He'll be yeah. Amy Diaz. Thank you. From New York. She said hi earlier.
Oh yeah. So that's what I think is
golfing all the time.
Like you're not that busy, but I'm wondering if like this is a wedding of like just the immediate family. And so
I mean, Trump's pretty immediate family.
Well, no, but I mean like just like the kids and the wife.
Yeah.
And so because this administration is so messy, no one has given Trump a talking point to say, I'm so excited. Like, cause
it's just, they're eloping. It's just the two of them.
Like you don't have to go.
No.
You could, but the answer would be, I'm so excited for my son. I'm so, he's doing a small thing. I can't wait to celebrate with them. Once this is done, blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's
I also
all you
feel
have
like of all the things that the media kills him on, going to his son's wedding, I just don't believe to be one of those things. So anyways, I just thought this was really funny because like Don Jr.'s perpetual humiliation by his father, like the therapy, if he were somebody who were self-aware enough to go to therapy, I mean, like I can only imagine what those sessions would be like. What's having a moment for you?
I think I just saw before we came in here that Ms. Rachel posted one of our videos about Dilley with our conversation with Representative Castro. We spoke with Representative Castro yesterday on the phone about the fundraising that we've done for Dilley. And I guess like I just have Dilley on my mind a lot right now. I keep thinking about the fact that like I pay for this.
Yeah.
Like we all
pay
for this. We are paying for these children to be in detention facilities, and the weather is just going to get hotter and hotter in Texas, and they should be enjoying their summers, but instead they are going to be in this. Can you imagine what the air conditioning situation is at Dilley? I mean, they don't have clean drinking water. The Texas heat.
Yeah. It's worth going back. If you're a listener of the show and you missed it, Joaquin Castro, we've pulled it out. It's on YouTube. You can listen to him describe what life is like there. And it is truly nightmarish the way he was describing it. It's like it's a trailer park, it's like just trailers, like families on families in there. And there's no,
they don't turn the lights off. It's like fluorescent lighting all the time. I don't know. I just can't
there's no safe way to detain a child. Like, I don't believe in detention of people in general, but like the fact that there's children in there is so sick. It's so sick.
Like we have, I think it's like so important. We keep raising these funds, but we also, yesterday, a lot of people were calling for the closure of Dilley. Like I want Dilley closed before the school year starts. And if there's one thing about Meredith Lynch is she doesn't fucking back down.
Well, and I also want to throw out there, like, just to like give people like not to be like doom and gloom. So when we did this fundraiser, we talked to the executive director of Each Step Home, who we worked with, and when we started it, it was $30 a pack for water. But because of all of the calls of people who watch the show, who fans of Miss Rachel, they actually reduced the price of that water to $9. And now it should still not exist in that way.
Yes,
it should be free. They should not be in there.
They should have clean drink.
Right.
No, that's the thing. Like once you start, like you'll be like, oh, well, they shouldn't have to pay that much for water. Then you're like, well, they shouldn't really have to pay for water. Well, they should have clean drinking water. Well, they shouldn't fucking be there.
But my point being is like for all the doom and gloom and like that is a clear indication that your participation in this issue helps change the narrative, helps change the calculus. And so I agree. Just keep talking about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop. And I know that we're not either.
Yep.
You're not either.
We are not. But please, the way to stay with us, to keep doing this, to keep supporting this work, to keep, finding ways to talk out about this is to join us on YouTube. If you subscribe on YouTube, you can come in and comment with us. We take your questions as like, thank you so much, Amy. And you really help us build this channel and use it in ways to help the people of Dilley, to raise conversations about how AI is affecting people. So yes, please join us.
We need more people on YouTube.
Yes.
Like that's just the bottom line. And I know it's really annoying. You have to go on another app and subscribe, but I'm like begging you, please. People will be like, oh my God, you sound desperate. I am desperate.
But I'm desperate because we want to do more good work. It helps us do more good work. And together as a team, we can all make a difference. I don't know what's going on the screen right now. But
we will be back on Tuesday with our guest, David Hogg.
That's right. I know.
Which actually, wow.
Wow. What timing. What timing. He has opinions on Ken Martin.
Yes, he definitely does. And we've had Chair Martin on the show. So anyway, you guys have a great and safe Memorial Day weekend.
That's right.
And we'll be back on Tuesday.
Happy summer.